What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video we are back with another Hot Toys figure preview video. Today we are featuring Iron Man Mark 6 from the Iron Man 2 movie. This figure was released a couple of days ago by Hot Toys, and I am very excited to go ahead and review this figure with you guys. We'll pretty much preview it because obviously it hasn't been released to us yet. It was just announced for pre-order, so I do want to go ahead and discuss some details about it, my thoughts about it. Also want to give you my thoughts about what I think when it comes to Hot Toys and Iron Man. Obviously this figure has been released so many times, obviously different suits, different marks, different face sculpts, so many details that we have to discuss. Now, before I do actually start with the preview video, really want to of course thank you guys for the continued support on my channel. We have finally reached 300 subscribers. I cannot tell you how thankful I am for that. It truly means a lot, all the support that I do receive from you guys, and it is a huge honor to finally achieve that goal. Obviously it is still a very small number, but we are barely getting started on this, and I couldn't be more thankful for the support that you guys have provided to me. Hopefully soon, once I am done with all of my renovations that I'm doing in my setup, the channel can keep growing and everything can go better for me and for all of us as a community here on my channel. Once again, want to reiterate and want to apologize for my lack of content over the last couple of weeks. Again, I am doing renovations on my setup and room, so once I am back, which should be in a couple of days, we are going to continue with some unboxings. We have Electro, Doctor Strange from the Multiverse of Madness. We also have the blue and gray Batman suit featuring Christian Bale. Very excited about that one. Also the classic Iron Man figure from the comics. So we have a couple of figures that we have to unbox, and along with a collection tour that I will be doing within the next couple of months, so stay tuned in for that. But again, apologies that I haven't been posting over the last couple of weeks. It's just that I've been doing those renovations, but they are almost done, and we should be back next week with the continuation of this channel. But for now, I wanted to go ahead and do this preview video of this Mark 6 that Hot Toys recently announced. Obviously I'm a new collector, right? So obviously Iron Man, I'm a big fan of his. I'm a big fan of Robert Downey Jr., big fan of Tony Stark, Iron Man. But obviously I have heard a lot of complaints about how Hot Toys seems to have this man crush on Iron Man. They release him pretty much once a month. It's kind of one of those things where it's a routine to release this guy. Honestly, me personally, I am a big fan of his. I do like the fact that he is a main focus of Hot Toys, because at the end of the day, this figure has so many suits, so many different, I guess, ways of displaying him. I would say that he, along with Spider-Man, are the characters that have the most variety. And at the same time, I feel like the reason why they released this Iron Man so many times is because there isn't really another option. So if I can give you guys an example, for example, Spider-Man, he might be released the same amount of times as Iron Man, but obviously with Spider-Man, you have different options, because you have Tom Holland, you have Tobey Maguire, you have Andrew Garfield, you have from the video game, Spider-Man 2, you have Miles Morales, things like that. So that's why there's so many different options, and it doesn't seem to be the same character all the time. When it comes to Tony Stark, Iron Man, obviously there's only one option, or maybe two, and that would be from Robert Downey Jr., the character. Obviously we have like the comics one that was released a couple of months ago, but it's always going to be Robert Downey Jr. until possibly in the future maybe another actor replaces him. Maybe we get a variant in future movies, like Secret Wars. We don't know what's gonna happen, so very intrigued about that. But I feel like that's why it seems that this figure has been released so many times, because again, it's only one actor that plays Iron Man. For example, again with Spider-Man, it's so many different actors. Same thing with Batman. So that's why it seems to be the same character. But I do believe that they have released Iron Man too many times. But to me, the biggest issue isn't that they release him too many times. It's the fact that we have a lack of releases when it comes to other characters. So for example, me, I'm a big Raimi fan, and I'm still wondering when are they going to release a Venom from Spider-Man 3, or a Sandman, or maybe a re-release of Harry, or for example, also being an Avengers fan, like, can we get another Hulk, or something like that, right? I wish they would release Star Wars. Same thing with Star Wars. Can I get another Palpatine, maybe a re-release of Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith, things like that. I wish that they would, that Hot Toys would put more of an emphasis on releasing other characters. I'm sure that you guys have other ideas on other characters that they could possibly release. But instead, Hot Toys pays attention on releasing other Iron Man. It seems like they're in a competition with themselves to see, to pretty much release a better Iron Man. Like, it's like they want to reach perfection when it comes to Iron Man, right? So, obviously with this figure, let's go ahead and get started with the review. I do apologize. I feel like I've been talking for too long and haven't even previewed the figure at all. I do want to confirm this figure is a 1/4 scale, so it is much bigger than a regular 1/6 scale figure. This thing is 19 inches tall, so he is pretty huge. And obviously the price, as you guys can see right here, kind of pretty much gives it away how big this figure is. But basically, it is again from Iron Man 2. It's pretty much from that battle scene, the last one. As you guys can see, the suit is pretty much damaged. Honestly, I don't think we are really going to have any complaints about this figure. I think that, again, as I mentioned before, Hot Toys is pretty much in a competition with themselves to see if they can release the perfect Iron Man. I feel like at some point they really can't do better. This figure looks really good. Honestly, first thoughts are that he looks great. We take a look at details. Obviously, well, we can pretty much give away that, again, pretty much it is from the Iron Man 2 movie. It is pretty much at the end fighting scene when he is fighting Evan Banco and his drones. Pretty much it is going to be displayed in that way. If we look at the box, what it's going to come with, so obviously it's going to come detailed likeness and authentic view of Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Obviously that's going to be a giveaway. We're going to have one Iron Man helmet with LED light up function, white light, battery operated, pretty much normal, I would say. Now it says a newly developed Tony Stark head sculpt with separate rolling eyeballs. So yes, as you guys can see, yes, this is a new Tony Stark head sculpt. Again, another issue that I have with Hot Toys. Again, I feel like they've released so many different Tony Stark head sculpts, but then we have other figures where they seem to keep releasing the same head sculpt. Example, Tom Holland. Now they just released a new head sculpt with this new red and blue original suit that will be released in the next couple of months. But before that, it seems that I got the same head sculpt for like 2 or 3 figures, right? And that's something that really bothered me, right? Here with this one, obviously it's going to be a different head sculpt. So it's like, to me, they put so much effort into Iron Man, but they don't with other figures, right? And that's kind of an issue that I have. But of course, we also have movie accurate facial features with detailed beard, wrinkles, and skin texture. And yes, as you guys can see, the head sculpt look really, really good. We'll take a deeper look later on. He is approximately 48.5 centimeters tall, or 19 inches. So he is pretty big compared to other Iron Man. Over 40 points of articulation, special features on armor. So it is the metallic gold and red color painting on the sleek and streamlined Iron Man armor design. LED light up design on his eyes, arc reactor and palms. Again, no surprises there. The LED lights can shine through sides of chest, ribs, forearms, back of legs, and upper back. Blue light, battery operated, and that's something that we can see here, which is a very, very cool feature and something that I'm very excited about. Here it is again. What else? We're pretty much gonna have 1 pair of built-in shoulder missile launchers, 2 pairs of articulated rib armor to reveal his interior mechanical designs, 1 pair of articulated forearm armor allowing extension for missile firing mode, 1 pair of articulated countermeasure dispensers, Also, armors that are interchangeable is going to be the battle damage mask, the battle damage chest armor, pair of battle damage shoulder armors, 4 pieces of leg thigh armor sets, and 1 right thigh armor front section only. There are 6 pieces of interchangeable hands, pretty much a pair of fists, pair of repulsive firing hands, pair of hands with articulated fingers, pretty much just to give us some options to pose the figure. Other things, I would say probably a pair of attachable rear like laser effects, specially designed diorama figure stand with drone remains, diorama accessories. So we'll take a look into the base to see how it looks, but pretty much those are all the details that that come with the figure. And by the way, before I continue with the video, quickly want to remind you guys that I do not claim any ownership of these images. Obviously, we are using Sideshow Collectibles website. I did go ahead and purchase the figure already for pre-order, so obviously I'm using their website to for the images and their description of the figure, which of course is also Hot Toys' description. Again, quarter scale figure. So let's go ahead and take a look at the images, right? So pretty much as you guys can see, and actually I don't like these images, they are a little bit too small, but I guess we can work with that. So yeah, pretty much the figure itself, again, he looks perfect. I mean, the head sculpt looks absolutely, I would say, perfect. If I can say, that's probably the best head sculpt that they've ever released from Iron Man. Yeah, honestly, it looks phenomenal. I love this lighting right here, reflecting one of his, pretty much his laser beams from his hands. We take a look here at the how tall he is, and then everything else that he comes with, which we will discuss at the end of the preview video. Here he is with his on his stands, and here are some remains of the drones that he fought in that final scene. The figure looks massive. He looks great, honestly. He looks so authentic, and the color on the figure is phenomenal. Obviously, it's pretty much metal on the suit, so the color on it looks great. Here we have him in another stand. He just looks shiny. The coloring is probably the best that I've seen on an Iron Man figure. Now again, I do want to confirm, right, because shockingly, guys, I don't have an actual Hot Toys Iron Man figure with the regular colors. As I've confirmed with you guys before, I have 2 Iron Mans, which is one from ZD Toys, which is obviously not the same quality, and then I do have the Hot Toys Neon Tech Suit 4.0, so obviously that's not the regular suit. Now, obviously, guys, oh, and also I have the statue, right, from Sideshow Collectibles, which is again not the same quality. So I have yet to have an actual Iron Man Hot Toys figure with the regular suit colors. Obviously, that will be changing soon, since I have a lot of Iron Mans that are on their way. So obviously I'm not able to really compare well, but just looking at the colors themselves here on these images, they're perfect, honestly. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, and it's just mind-boggling how much detail they put into this figure. And again, I just wish they went out of their way with other figures as well. I feel like every single figure matters, and obviously us collectors, we put a lot of money onto these figures, so I wish they would put all this effort and detailing onto other figures. Just an example, again, big Raimi fan. We are just getting the Doc Ock and Green Goblin figures. Obviously, the figures aren't bad, but for example, taking a look at the face sculpts and then comparing to this face sculpt for Robert Downey Jr., obviously there's no comparison. This face sculpt is pretty much perfect, while the other two for Doc Ock and Green Goblin, well, they're average at best. And obviously I'm not gonna get into Doc Ock's face sculpt, because you guys already know how I feel about that. One of the worst face sculpts that I've seen by Hot Toys. So again, that is what bothers me. I wish they would put more detail onto other figures. Again, to me, I don't have an issue with them releasing Iron Man figures. To me, again, he's a very popular character. He has so many suits and things like that, and I am sure that he makes Hot Toys a lot of money. But I just wish that they would put detailing onto other figures, just like they do with this guy right here. I feel like us as customers, as paying customers, we would be more satisfied if they went out of their way to do that. Taking a look here at more images, we guys can see pretty much the base. The base is very well constructed. So again, pretty much has drawing remains and a little bit of kind of like concrete. So that looks pretty good. His stance is very great. He looks massive again. He looks huge. We take a look here at another image. The lighting looks phenomenal. Now it could be the background, so obviously once we get it in person, you know, we would have to see how he looks. Once again, here it is. Just a lot of images displaying the figure. Again, the base itself looks very, very creative. As you guys can see, not only is it drone remains, but you guys can see a little bit of fire there, a little bit of burning fire. The paint applications and how the concrete floor looks is absolutely very amazing. There's a lot of detailing on this diorama base, so I'm glad that they included that on the figure. Obviously, I feel like at this point with so many Ironmans, you know, giving him a regular hexagonal base would kind of be, you know, wouldn't really make sense. So obviously they have to go out of their way to make sure that the diorama base is as good as the figure. Here it is again. As you guys can see, the hands look huge and massive, which makes sense. At this point, the Mark 6 suit is pretty much this way. We'll take a look here closer at his face sculpt. So the face sculpt itself, honestly, to me, it looks great. So just look at the paint applications on this. He looks sweaty. I mean, it looks perfect, honestly. Now, maybe you guys are able to find maybe a detail here and there that might not say it's perfect, but honestly, I really can't be too picky with him. I mean, he looks exactly like, you know, Tony Stark. He looks exactly like Robert Downey Jr. I think the only thing that we can really pay attention is making sure that he has the look as it is in the movie. Obviously, with the actor, well, his hairdo changes, maybe the way he has his beard, mustache, things like that. Obviously, in the future movies, he gets older, so we just want to make sure that he looks as he is on that exact movie. And to me, I mean, yeah, he looks as he is in the second movie, so it makes sense. His eyes look phenomenal. His hairdo is great. I'm surprised they haven't gone with an artesian version, just like with Wanda, Anakin, and the Joker. But I mean, I don't think we really need it. I think the hairdo is phenomenal, and again, the skin texture is great. So the face sculpt, honestly, I really can't find any issues. I think it's as good as it gets. More images of the battle. I love this image right here. So as you guys can see, the damages done on the suit looks so legit. As you guys can see, pretty much the suit is I would say ripped apart. I would assume that this chest piece is interchangeable, and I think we read that when we were discussing the details, and I'm sure that will be addressed in the upcoming images. But I would say the damages here are bullets and things like that. They look so legit. Same thing on the mask. Again, it's damaged and that looks phenomenal. The lighting looks great as well. I mean, can we really make any complaints about the suit? Well, I don't think we really can, right? Let me see another image. Now, this would be pretty much a clean suit version. So there are no damages. Pretty much it's just a normal suit. Here it is, a little bit of a closer look at it. Again, the paint application looks great, and the lighting, the blue and the regular white color, very, very detailed, and the light up functions are really, really high, so that makes the character look even more legit than what he already is. We take a look here at the next image. Pretty much once again with the damaged suit. I'm sorry, the damaged suit. And again, just everything looks great, and the face sculpt looks really, really good. That is the only face sculpt, of course. No other facial expressions, which to me, I really don't have an issue with it. Here he is again with that same face sculpt. And of course, the clean suit, so no damaged areas or anything like that. As you guys can see, there are some kind of failed paint applications here, which I think it's fine. I think they did that on purpose. So no issues there whatsoever. Again, we can pretty much keep going over more images, guys. Let me go ahead and take a look more at the details of the actual figure. So obviously the separate rolling eyeballs, which is pretty much expected, not just with this figure, but any figure by Hot Toys. And then, of course, we said it before, we have interchangeable battled damaged parts. So we have kind of like a shoulder pad. This, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is his leg. Yes, his thigh. And then we have, of course, the chest and the mask, right? So those things are going to be interchangeable at this point. You guys are, it's up to you guys how you want to display him. Obviously, I feel like at this point, Hot Toys has to include the damage and the non-damage part so that they can give us options, because obviously if we're just going to get figures that are not damaged, well, we're going to be limited, right? So as far as like displaying the figures, so I'm glad that they did that with him. And then the light up areas, so there's a lot of light up areas. The blue color on this figure looks so good. It gives the figure so much meaning, so much more meaning. It looks absolutely beautiful. Again, I feel like I've said before, I think to me, Hot Toys is in a competition with themselves to make sure that these figures are more perfect than the previous one. Again, don't be surprised, guys, if here comes another Iron Man in a month or two and they went for something even more realistic, right? But I think as far as Mark 6, well, this is as good as it gets, honestly. The light up functions are great and everything else just looks really, really good. The last image would be pretty much this one, which is going to be all of the details. So again, as I mentioned before, so we have the separate rolling eyeballs with the face sculpt, which looks really, really good. We have these parts right here where the figure can open up in different areas, and that's where the light up functions will be, as well. As you guys can see here, the blue LED lights. We mentioned before the interchangeable battle damage parts. I would hope that these parts are attached via magnet. When it comes to magnet, I feel like the figure is more, I guess, more well put together. Just an example again, we Green Goblin, who were able to go ahead and exchange that neck piece, but instead of them doing magnet, they went with something that's kind of taped together, and that makes the figure much more vulnerable and easier to separate. Meanwhile, this one, if they can go with magnet, I'm hoping they will, it would make the figure much more easier to put together. So again, it's going to be the shoulder, the chest piece, the mask, and of course the thigh that is damaged as well. The laser beams with the six pieces of hands, and then of course we have the diorama base, which is really, really good. So my final thoughts, guys, honestly, I have no issues with the figure. I really didn't think I was going to. I think when it comes to Iron Man, Hot Toys puts every single ounce of blood, sweat, and tears into making sure that the figure is as perfect as it is, which again, it makes sense, right? Again, when I think of popular characters, I think of Iron Man, I think of Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. So those characters, I always feel like Hot Toys is going to go out of their way to make sure that they are great, because obviously they make a lot of money on these figures. So it makes total sense. Obviously, I did pre-order mine off of Sideshow Collectibles. If you guys want to, you guys can go on there and purchase it yourself. Obviously, you guys would get it at normal price. This figure, if I'm not mistaken, would be ready by October of 2024, March 2025. And obviously, you guys have payment options, right? So that's something that Hot Toys offers if you guys want to go ahead and purchase it. But as of now, no issues with the figure. Again, want to remind you guys that it is a quarter scale figure, not a 1/6 scale. So the size of this figure will not be the same as a regular Iron Man by Hot Toys. So but again, this is what we have as of now. Before I do end the video, once again, guys, want to thank you for the continued support on my videos. It truly means a lot. Again, the continued support that I receive from you guys. Want to remind you that I am also on TikTok and Instagram. Right now, I have not been posting on any of those websites, and that is because, again, I am remodeling my setup. So once it is all done, I will go back to the normal content that I usually post. But I am on there. The links to that will be left here on the description of the video. But pretty much this is going to be it for today. Again, wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on Iron Man Mark 6 from Iron Man 2. The next video for me will be a preview of Mr. Captain Rex from the Ahsoka series. That figure was also released a couple of days ago. I will be releasing that video within the next couple of days as well, to go ahead and give my thoughts about Mr. Rex himself. But for now, guys, this is going to be it for the video. Want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts about this figure, or things that I might have missed or gotten wrong, feel free to leave a comment here on the video. I'll be more than happy to go ahead and reply back to you guys and share my thoughts with you guys, and you guys share your thoughts with me. But for now, this is going to be it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.